Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Janine McGowan, and I design cross stitch as the Blue Flower. It's been a month since we got together. I had 2 weeks ago. I was just not up for it. I had one of those days where I was trying to push through, and my husband said, "You know what? Just don't. Just take a day." So I'm glad I listened to him. He's a very smart man. I should listen to him more often. But then last weekend I was at the wonderful retreat in Florida, and so it's been a whole month and a busy month. Speaking of busy, you guys have been busy, so we are going to jump right into stitching in action. And first up we have Iris stitched by Kathy. She did a great job on the stitching. This was the free chart that I put out at this past market. And she scored a custom frame at her local shop. Someone had ordered this frame and then didn't want it, left it in the clearance bin. Oh, pardon me. Oh, I'm sorry. You don't know this, but this is actually the fourth time I have started this video because I cannot stop yawning. So this time we're just going to power through, and if I yawn, just overlook it. But anyway, Kathy found this perfect frame, and it's exactly right for the Iris. So well done, Kathy. Thank you so much for sharing it. Next up, we have Stitching Squirrels. This one was stitched by Sandy. She used 26 count Ada and the called for DMC. And I love that finishing. It's just the perfect little frame. I don't even know how you would find that, but it's just right, and so well done, Sandy. Then we have Pigeon and Puddle stitched by Katherine. She used 32 count Mimosa Belfast linen, and I really like that pale green color. I think it looks just lovely. On the pigeons next, she used 3 DMC colors together, and the original was a cottage garden thread in the model that contained all those 3 colors, a green, a purple, a blue, and so I gave all 3 DMC options, so she stitched them all together, and I really like the way it makes those neck stitches stand out, almost like fluffy rough feathers. So I think that's beautiful. Thank you so much, Katherine, for sending that through. Then we have Festive Forest stitched by Kora. She used 28 count fabric from Stash, and I really like that color. I think that shows everything off well, and she used the called for DMC. She said she tried to fill it with fiber fill originally, and it just kept coming out lumpy, which is definitely something I've struggled with. So then she said she tried something called cluster stuff, which I'd never heard of, but I will definitely be checking that out because it looks like it worked very, very well. And like I said, I struggle with the fiber fill, so it would be great to have another option. She finished it with a pine cone on the top, and it's just beautiful. Thank you so much, Kora, for sharing that. And then finally, we have Pigeon and Puddle stitched by Davey. She stitched this in memory of her father. He had 2 pet pigeons. They were fantail pigeons, which is one of the specialty breeds. Very striking. I had to look them up and see so I could picture them. But I just love that it reminded her of her father and those memories. She used the cottage garden threads and the DMC on 40 count flax Newcastle linen. So spectacular stitching in action, everyone. Thank you so much for sending those through. And if you have stitched a Blue Flower design and you'd love to share it, I would love to share it too. So send me an email so that I can show this on the videos and on the website. On to what I'm stitching. I finished Elizabeth Cooper from Fox and Rabbit. I survived all the over ones. I'm very happy with the way it came out. And so that meant I got to start on the Cicadas song sampler from Cosford Rise, which, let's see, I've got my cover here. It's been traveling with me, so it's a little folded, but this is the original. I ended up using a little bit more saturated color palette, which I quite like. The stone mill, you can definitely tell, is more grays and darker stone colors than the one in the model, and I really do like it. However, when I was at the Florida retreat, someone was stitching on it and they'd done the whole border on this beautiful mottled blue fabric that was just very spring and summery, so I am almost tempted to start it again because that fabric is just so pretty. I'm not sure I want to stitch the mill again. I really like it, but we'll see. I have to model stitch for a while anyway, so I've got some time before I have to commit one way or another. Okay, on to Stash Spotlight. This is something I picked up at the retreat in Florida. We had a little break there, not because I was yawning, but because someone was at the door and I was barking. This is EP 1766 from Morning Glory Needleworks, and you can see it's a reproduction. The original is very faded, so I would probably just pick some colors I liked and go with it. There's not too much guidance there. However, what drew me to it is this figure right here, which is this one down in the corner. And I know it's meant to be something like a deer, but it just reminded me of a greyhound. So if I do stitch this, I think it's going to be a greyhound, because why not? I too can get drunk with power, and I'm not sure where it's going to fall in my rotation as far as how important it is, but I think for the right mood, that is just the thing that I'm going to want to stitch. So I'm looking forward to that. On to World Around. This is very exciting. I chose strawberries. We just got the first tiny little strawberries from our garden, and they were absolutely wonderful. We grow the tiny alpine strawberries, so they are very small, but so sweet and delicious. Oh, so it was a real treat, and I thought it would be a good time to learn more about them. I didn't realize that humans have loved strawberries for thousands of years. Archaeology suggests they were part of the diet well back through the Stone Age. And in Roman times, they were very popular. They were associated with the goddess Venus because of the heart shape and the red color. Romans believed them to be an aphrodisiac because, why not? And also believed that they could cure things like depression and kidney stones, which I'm certainly willing to test because I love strawberries. The modern strawberry is not that modern. It goes back to the mid-1700s. And it was a combination of a North American variety, which had arrived in Europe quite a bit earlier, and a variety from Chile. This I found was fascinating. A French spy was in Chile and found this much larger but more temperamental to grow strawberry, so they crossed it with the North American one. And that's the more modern berry that we would know today, or something quite similar. It isn't a berry. It's an aggregate accessory fruit and a member of the rose family. It was originally called an earthberry and later a strawberry. I read two different explanations. The first part, the straw part, means either strewn or scattered, which could either refer to the tiny seeds across the berry or the fact that the berries are sort of scattered through the leaves of the plant. They have about 200 of those tiny seeds per plant, and I believe they're the only fruit that have the seeds on the outside, which I think was quite cool. Let's see. Some say, or used to say, that if two people split a double strawberry and share it, they will fall in love. I don't know about love, but we do know that strawberries have many vitamins and minerals and antioxidants, supporting immune system and a variety of health benefits. They also have more vitamin C than oranges do. Now, despite having all of these tiny seeds on the outside, they don't generally spread by seed, but rather by runners. So the plant sends out stems. Those stems lay on the ground and then shoot down new roots, creating new plants. We actually have a bunch of strawberries in a pot, which have sent runners into the neighboring pot. And so they're now amongst the lilies and the sunflowers as well. So they're doing just what they should be doing. In the language of flowers, the strawberry symbolizes perfection. It was often carved into medieval churches and served at important banquets. Now, I didn't realize this, but May 20th is National Pick Strawberries Day, and I did not celebrate that because I was on a plane to Florida, but I will certainly be celebrating picking strawberries for the rest of the summer. There is a museum in Belgium devoted solely to strawberries, so I found a few pictures of that online, and looks like it would be fun if you're ever in the neighborhood, worth a visit. So that was the world around. Now, question last video was, how do you describe the taste of rhubarb? Lots of great rhubarb discussions and great recipe ideas. I've been stalking the rhubarb plant, and I have a fresh harvest ready for this weekend. I was going to make maybe a crumble or one of the pies that was mentioned, but my husband requested the rhubarb ice cream again, so that's what we're gonna do. Question this video, what is your favorite vine? We're well into gardening season, and we've put up the annual vines. We usually get a pink jasmine, so that's lots of fun for us. And we have quite a few vines that overwinter, but we have two new ones this year. We have a kiwi vine and some hop vines. And actually, I'm really excited about those kiwi. It's a fruit we all love, so fingers crossed we're gonna get some off of that vine this year. So I was just curious, which ones do you like? Best thing this video is the Florida retreat. It was so much fun. I had a marvelous time. It was a really well-run, well-organized, very comfortable retreat, and such a fantastic group of stitchers. I got to meet Stacy Nash. I totally embarrassed myself fangirling over Stacy Nash, and she was very gracious about it, but it was so much fun. And I got to see what everyone was stitching. I got to visit a botanical garden and see amazing tropical flowers. Got to see the Gulf, put my toes in a different ocean, always a treat. And I got to have a Publix sub, which may seem random, but there's a book I quite enjoy that I read periodically, and it's a scene in the book where the main character takes a visitor to get a Publix sub. So I also went to get a Publix sub, and it was delicious. It's probably good that we don't have them here. I would eat them a lot. So on to giveaway. Last video, it was the Easter Biscornu trio from Puntini. These lovely 3 little Biscornu and a beautiful pin set. She does such beautiful things. The word was egg, and the winner is @JenStitcher. So give me an email with your address and I will get that in the mail to you. Giveaway this video, see where I put everything. This is a project bag that I picked up at the retreat. It's so pretty, and I thought the oranges were appropriate for Florida. It also has a fabric inside that looks a bit like cross stitches. This was made by Stitchwork Design Co. And if you use the word orange in your comment, we'll pick a winner in the next video, and I'll be able to send that your way. On to announcements. Not a lot right now. The website is still in the process of moving, and I am actually going through the licensing to get the PDF sales to EU all organized. So once that's finished, hopefully in a couple of weeks, I'll be hitting the website with the spring and summer PDFs all at once, since they've been on hold for a while. We have puppy video at the end. It's a little bit short this time because I did it a while ago when I just had a few pictures, but before the next video we should have plenty, since we have 4 weeks worth of dog footage. So it's been a treat spending some time with you. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. I'm off to go pack charts and hopefully get out in the sun a little bit, although it is quite hot this weekend, so I'll probably just be out with the dogs in the mornings and then retreating inside for the rest of the day. I look forward to chatting with you again in 2 weeks, and thank you for sharing your time with me. Bye-bye.